Hello everyone and welcome to another Resonite recap stream. This is a recap for the month of July. I'm Fruxis. I'm here with Aegis from our team, with Bob, our finance officer, with Dushan, also from our team, and some surprise guests that you'll see soon, so stay tuned to find out who they are. So what we do, we pretty much recap all the major things that happened with Resonite over the month of July. We focus on the major sort of points. Usually there's a lot of stuff that kind of happens, although this month has been a little bit quieter. We've closed 15 GitHub issues, and we'll kind of get into why a little bit, because there's been a lot of work happening in the background, although on the outside has been a little bit slower. So let's go into the first topic. The big topic is the splitting. So that's a thing that's been going on. For those of you who don't know what a splitting is, the splitting is the final phase of our big performance update. It's pretty much the part where all the work that led into this will culminate, and we'll be able to run Resonite with .NET 9 runtime in a separate process. And actually, we're gonna speak a little bit weird. If you've been watching the devlogs and stuff that we've been posting, we already have builds that are working. We've been running, with .NET 9, with Unity being its own process that handles pretty much only the rendering, and majority of the engine running with the .NET 9 runtime, which is a modern, very fast runtime. It has much better code generation compared to Unity, so it makes the same code run multiple times faster. It also has access to a lot of newer features, a little better libraries, better support for modern protocols and things, so there's lots of benefits to it. The work is still undergoing. Right now it's still on an internal builds, but we're working towards having a pre-release available soon. You might have seen one of the devlogs. I have it here. So, wait, why is it squished? It got squished. This is on my end, but what is this? One of the already visible benefits of the splitting is that all the loading is significantly faster. So in this video, this is one of the devlogs. This shows loading of the world Recursion Lab, which is a beautiful world by the Vibes team. It's one of the most graphically impressive worlds we have on our platform, but also it's very big and very heavy, and typically on my machine it will take a few minutes to load into it if I don't have it cached. This is with the splitting build running with .NET 9, loading it without having cached, meaning it's also being downloaded from the cloud. And just watch how fast that goes. Let's do that, because that one normally takes a while. So I pretty much clicked it right at the beginning of the video. It takes a bit to load it initially, but normally this will take whenever I would load into this world, I would take my headset off and just get water or something while it loads. And
you're in.
It's there. Here it is. It downloads a few last assets and it's loaded. That's it. Normally this takes forever. What? So I remember when I tried it myself, I kind of expected it to take still a minute or something, but it is incredibly fast. And part of the reason is because the .NET runtime, it actually makes our multi-threaded loading system shine, because it's using much better runtime that doesn't slow it down. And also, because .NET 9 supports modern technologies like HTTP 2 and HTTP 3, which makes the asset downloads much more efficient. If you're curious, there's a lot more videos in the devlog. You can see the steady progress on it. You can see kind of all the updates. We've even run some simple benchmarks, but we haven't done super in-depth benchmarking yet. But so far, everything seems very promising, and we should have a pre-release available soon. No specific date yet, still sorting out through some issues, but it's probably gonna be available in the near future. One note, when the pre-release happens, it's likely going to be still missing some of the things. Probably not going to have initial VR support, so because we can the initial testing we can just use desktop. it's not going to have like videos and a few other things. That's going to be completely normal. Those going to be added during the testing period. That way the testing can start while the work on these features is still undergoing. And this will follow the similar process we did with audio testing, where the initial audio release didn't feature reverb zones and Doppler, but those effects were added during the pre-release testing, and once everything was kind of completed and polished, it was released to public. So it is very exciting. I've been kind of getting very excited with myself because it literally is like months and months of work sort of culminating to make this moment happen, and we'll finally be able to sort of like largely free ourselves of the shackles of like Unity and its like old runtime and get the benefits of a like modern runtime, speeding things up and making future development much simpler. There is another thing we also might have noticed in the devlogs where we're actually now able to use Visual Studio's built-in tools to debug the builds, which is something we were not able to do before, not with the graphical client. That simplifies the work for us developers, which also make it easier to work on issues, diagnose bugs, and generally just improve the development of the platform. So there's like many benefits to this. We are very excited, but there's still more work to be done. But it's gonna be soon, DM. So with that out of the way, we can move to the next topic, and this is covering the R-Team additions. So, Aegis, can you tell us a little bit more about the stuff you've been cooking?
So, it's also kind of like mainly focusing on one main thing this month for us too, and that's the help tab as shown over here, but I did also spawn it in here. I did go over this multiple times over the office hours that I do every Wednesday about like the different iterations of it so far. Right now it's at the point where we're now starting to add information in it, and this, to explain what it is, it's a new tab that will be in your dashboard. Now what it will be is a kind of a field guide that will have tutorials for both new and existing users. Now when you first open it up, you'll have this pop-up here, and it'll tell you, what do you want to do within Resonite? And if you're a brand new user, if you want to find people or find worlds, how to set up their avatar, things like that. And you can even skip it here if you want, or if you click on it. Right now the link doesn't work, but it pops up, and the category it goes to right away is this Getting Started tab. If I click on it, it'll have videos and text and pictures that'll guide users on the different topics here. You can scroll through them, and it has subcategories to go through, and you can see all of it, as well as it will be translated once we have all the data and text set up. There is a GitHub of this on our GitHub about what we're trying to get in there, and kind of content feedback and ideas and suggestions that we've been taking in throughout the months for this is also there too. And not only it'll have like stuff for beginner users, it'll have some more advanced things as well as quick resources, for example, like links to various websites that we have, our socials, and say, for example, if you ever wanted to know what are all the different Resonite bot commands, they'll be there, and you can easily just copy them, and then you can go to the Resonite bot, paste it, and then you'll have them right there. Same thing with, like, say, what are the different badges, what is Resonite, what is Yellow Dog Man, and even...
We're making sure to set them all up with locale strings as well,
Yes.
so that people can translate the information as they need.
And even a list of all the team members in Resonite. Right, if you messed around with the shape or gradients, there we go. It looks kind of pretty looking through. You're golden.
Oh,
Right there.
it's shiny.
Yeah.
And the gradients.
Yeah. Pretty much sums it up. It's also a facet, so you can basically move it around, scale it, and such. It has the potential to be put post into any world you want, because it'll be in the essentials just like any of the other facets, as well as it will be in the avatar gazebo and the tutorial world, showcasing relevant data, or it'll be open to the pages that are relevant to those worlds. That pretty much sums it up.
Oh, that's excellent. Like, like we've been talking about the help tab, like, for a bit, and, like, to kind of see it, like, coming together is very exciting.
Yes.
And I think it's going to help a lot, like, new users, just, like, kind of getting started, and having the help, like, right there on the dash, accessible, wherever they are. Because we know, onboarding, that's been one of the things that people have been kind of struggling with, figuring out, how to do things. So this should, like, help, like, a lot with that.
Oh,
so
one
Wait,
last
the
thing.
help tab is going to help? Wow.
Yes, it's in the name.
Hopefully.
At first, there won't be everything in there. It's going to be something that's easy for us to update to. So it'll have the getting started stuff in there, as well as some of the information that's already set up there, like links were quite easy to set up, but more and more advanced information will be in there over time.
Yeah, so something we can expand on too.
Yes.
The initial launch of it will have the getting started tabs fleshed out with, text and everything, videos and whatnot. And then we can just do the same process for all the other ones.
Mm-hmm.
This is excellent. Thank you very much for the update, Aegis.
Yes.
So with that, we can move to the next topic, which is there's been like a few like small updates. Like I mentioned earlier, like a lot of the energy right now has been going into the split ending, and there's also like our team has been working on like the help tab. The team has been also working a whole bunch of like updates. We had a new team member last month, J4. J4, for example, implemented like a new commands for the headless, and they've been like working on adding sort of like CI/CD pipelines for a lot of like projects, which is not something you can see on the surface. Like you cannot like it's not a feature, but it's something that helps us tremendously with our development because it makes work of other engineers much easier, and that's like hugely beneficial. But one of the things, like, for example, the headless now has like a version command, and that's been added by J4. There's a few other things, like, for example, we now have clear on user leave on the value user override, so you can kind of clear values. There's been Pro Prime has worked a lot on fixing up issues with the cursor, because there's been like issues where the cursor would sometimes like flicker and be big, and that took like some doing to kind of track it down. But now it's fixed, and there's also like a setting where you can disable sort of the secondary trailing cursor if you don't like it. So there's like some stuff like with that. There's also like a multiplicative sampling node for spatial variables that's been added by Ruby. So there's been like a lot of kind of small contributions by a number of team members, and there's a lot of them kind of like waiting on as well, although we have to kind of coordinate them with the split ending because that's like a big change. And some of them, like for example, Pro Prime has been working on fixing up a lot of reflection probe issues. Since split ending also touches those, it might happen to be released like either alongside with it or after it is like released. So there's a lot of kind of stuff, like a lot of like work in the background that's been kind of going on, and because we've been like working on the really big update, like it's been a little bit like slower on the releases with it. The next topic is we already talked about this, but Stripe is officially out of beta phase. The pretty much like the last major bug with it has been fixed. Carly has like made sure that like we use newer version of the API that pretty much fixes the issues people have been having. So if you've been hesitant to switch to it, you should be good to switch to it right now. We're still going to be doing things to promote it more, so it's kind of more at forefront. It's easier to kind of find. But if you're currently supporting us on Patreon, consider switching to Stripe because we will get about 10% more money even if you switch to the same tier, and that helps us a lot. We have the updated content form that's been kind of published and the announcements, so definitely recommend checking that out. I don't know, do you have like anything on it yourself? Because I know like Nick's been working on that one.
Technically two content forms. One is kind of like a way to showcase content within a community that we want to spotlight. and that has some prizes as well. There's definitely information on it on our Discord, and the other one, just the one that is on the GitHub actually, is for submitting content that you want to share within the Resonite Essentials folder. And through there, you can submit like folders, although the contents of the folders will be taken and saved into folders within the Essentials.
Yeah, so definitely check that out, and you can find like a little more kind of information if you go to the announcements channel, and also for like all the engineering things we've been talking about. Check out like the devlog channel on our official Discord, because you'll find more information from our engineers and other team members on stuff they've been working on. With this, we can move to our final topic, which is the business office hours. So I'm going to hand it to Bob, but I'm also going to mention there was unfortunately a mix-up, so these slides are old, but with the power of Resonite, we can fix it live, and we can get the choreographs.
There we go.
So Bob, would you tell us a little bit more about the business side?
Hey everyone, glad to be here for another recap stream. I'm now in Japan. It is currently July 5th, so I bring news from the future. The winning lottery numbers are 7. I'm also 7, yes. I'm also chilling with the Weavers team, so let's grab our special guest. Woo! Come on out, boys. Let's go. I want to introduce the Weavers team. We got hey everyone. We got Angeli, Raboots, Orange, and Taka. Hey, all right. Good morning. So these guys are super cool. Do you want to know how cool these guys are? These guys are this cool. Yeah. Yeah, boy, let's go. Yeah, so we got Angeli blowing smoke, Raboots in the middle, and Orange on the side.
おー、大公開だ。
Yeah,
みんな
let's
で出社したよ。
so on our first
It's more
slide,
fun.
our monthly growth, like 6 months of monthly growth, has been very consistent. On one of our weekends last month, we had a little bit of a spike in numbers. So you probably might have, you probably can guess which weekend that was. We're also anticipating a big boom in user growth post the splitting. So mentors, be ready for waves of new users. So on this next slide, we have a 6-month breakdown of our business to consumer revenue. We have a steady amount of users moving from Patreon to Stripe. You can see, we have an $800 monthly change, but that increases our overall profit margins by 0.3%, which is great. We want to keep seeing that happen every single month. We'll be, as Fruc said, we will be moving out of Stripe Beta most likely later this month, so expect a large announcement on that front. And encourage people that are still on Patreon to make the switch. Then on our next slide, right here, we have the population of the different types of subscribers. You can still see that Patreon is 80% of total subscribers, so only 20 people have made the switch, but over a third of the revenue has made the switch. So it's largely our most generous subscribers are the ones that are making the move. The issue, though, is the Patreon is taking a huge portion of the really, really small ones, like the $1 and $5 tiers. They take the largest cut from. So if we can figure out how to encourage the smaller subscribers to make the transition, that should help considerably. Then for our last and final slide, we have the Weavers team here. I wanted to hype them up. They've been doing an amazing work promoting Resonite in Japan for the past several years. Last time I checked, about 13.5% of the total Resonite residents is from Japan, making it the second largest country by the population. In Resonite. Additionally, their connections with many large corporations will open up additional opportunities for Resonite to grow as an enterprise product over the next several years. Now I wanted to turn the floor over to the Weavers team to speak about all the cool stuff they're working on, their accomplishments, and then we'll move on to the question and answer segment, and the audience can ask them questions directly.
皆さん、こんにちは。
こんにちは。
Hello,
こんにち
everyone.
は。
はい。私たちは、Weavers Labo という会社で、日本でレゾナイトを使った、システムの開発とか、そういうことをしております。
We are Weavers Lab, and we are making a product in Japan using a Resonite to, expand the market, basically.
例えば、ロボットアームをレゾナイトから操作できるようにしたり。
For example, like if you take a look this video, the inside of the screen is Resonite, and the user is using a robot arm to interact with real world.
こういう未来的な、システムをイベントで出展したりとか、あとは、研究開発にレゾナイトを使ってもらったりとかしてます。
Yeah, so like as shown, we're making something like little like SF-ish, like little future technology using Resonite, and also like we're using Resonite for researching purpose too.
あとは、毎週日本のコミュニティ向けにストリーミングをしていて、レゾナイトの魅力を発信したりもしています。
Also, every week we have a streaming for Japanese community to introduce like Resonite feature and or anything related to Resonite.
他何か喋りたい人いますか？
今ですね、日本では割とレゾナイト注目が広がってきておりまして、最近は非常に SNS でもインプレッションが加速しているんですね。
These days, in Japan, Resonite is getting more attention on SNS, so hopefully there will be a growth in Resonite's like Japanese community relation
そう
too.
なんです。このね、VRSNS に対する需要が高まっている段階で、僕たちが日本で代理店として活動することで、このレゾナイトの良さを広めてね、レゾナイトの利用を促進していきたいというふうに考えております。
Yeah, like, especially in Japan, there's some sort of focus on the VR SNS, and we are representing or being an agent of Resonite in Japan. That's hopefully help Resonite to grow more faster and like better.
で、そういうところで僕たちの強みは、レゾナイトをみんなね、プレイしていたユーザーたちの集まりで立ち上げた会社なんで、レゾナイトを代理店として販売する以外にも、レゾナイトの開発を請け負うことができるんで、まるっとすべてひっくるめたパッケージとしてレゾナイト販売できるっていうところが僕たちの会社の強みです。
And we built a company based from the Resonite user, so that not only we're just being an agent, but we can make a product from Resonite to promote like Resonite all the technologies.
レゾナイトはもうめちゃくちゃ面白いプラットフォームだっていうことは、もうこの配信を視聴されている皆さんなら当然ご存知だと思うんですけれども、それをね、日本に広めていく活動を僕たちはやっていきたいと思っております。
As you may know, Resonite is like really interesting and like fascinating platform, so we will advocate this Resonite to a Japanese market.
そんな感じ、皆さん、ぜひお見知りおきを。
はい。よろしくね。
Thank you for listening.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Make sure to get everyone in frame. There we go. Where'd Bob go? Oh.
Bob?
ボブさんが。
ボブさん
There we go. Who was hiding? So, Bob, do you have like more on like business side, or are we good to like open into questions now? Yeah, I think we should open into questions now.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
So Austin the Rocket is asking, what are you guys most excited for next month? I mean, for me, it's clear it's the split ending. Like, I've been kind of working on it, so, like, that's the main thing. What about you guys?
Same here. Can't
yeah.
wait to test it.
Same here.
Yeah,
And what
lots
about
of
you
things I
guys?
want to do.
Widening and increasing of the
Yes.
リットニングでしょ
people,
あ
the
と、
number of
あの、
people.
I've got like 3 maps
Yes,
I want to
more.
throw at it.
リケットリアとか。
It seems
そう、あ
everyone's
と、
kind of
リ
excited
ケッ
for
ト
it.
リアルっていうね、めちゃくちゃ大きなイベントが日本で今月あるので、それもとても楽しみです。
Of
そうです
course,
ね。
you know, spreading, but also we have a like big real event in Japan called BK Real, which is
Ooh.
it's like basically the exhibition for virtual or XR. So
Ah,
that's gonna be
VCAT.
exciting. Yeah, VCAT. And there's a real event too. So we
Oh,
we
that
can
is very
see you
exciting.
guys in the BK Real.
うん。レゾナイトを使った展示をしますので、札幌で
うん
ね、
うん
お楽しみに。
We do have we'll be there in the BK Real and we're presenting Resonite in Sapporo. So if anyone going to Sapporo, hopefully, you know, we can see
来
you
る人い
guys
るのかな
later.
Next one's from Grand UK. Grand UK is asking, Teresa team, what has been or do you think will be the most difficult part of the splitting process? I would say it's kind of the hardest part is kind of already over. Now it's just kind of like, steady work, like progressing through things. A lot of the difficulties is just kind of dealing with like sort of unexpected complications that come along the way. Like right now, the one I'm kind of dealing with is where the messaging queues that are like, between the two processes, for some reason, it'll just stop. Like, even though like the messages are being put into it, it's just they're not coming out of the other end. And it's like, we need to add lots of instrumentation, figure out why is that happening, what could be causing it, and then working around it. And there's been like, a number of other ones. So, I would say the major hurdle is just, getting everything to kind of work. That's kind of over because the builds are functional and it's more about like, implementing additional functionality. So like, it brings up to the feature parity and dealing with the bugs of the system, and then also tuning the system because there's been some parts where some of the development bits it had to be like tuned so it actually, performs like pretty well. But it's mostly just kind of like, sorting through it, like kind of chewing through the code, reworking things like, and so on.
Yep.
Ooh,
Surprise.
got another from the Viewers team. Sage and Dub is asking to Viewers team, any world you recommend us to visit?
はい、おすすめのワールドありますか？
I have
うん
one.
Oh, they're ready.
ユニフェスタとい
ユニフェスタですね
うワールドです。
Oh, that's
こ
a
れ
good one.
は、まあ日本コミュニティの作品が多いんですけど、いろんな人が作ったものが一つのワールドで楽しめちゃうっていう展示会みたいなワールドです。
The Unifest 2024, which is like an exhibition, and a lot of like Japanese user made like world or tools, and they published to the Unifesta. So it's like take a look and working around to have fun.
うん
That's like one of our recommendation.
うん。
ユ
インフェスタはね、電車が来るっていうコンセプトでね、電車に乗って展示物がやってくるっていう面白い仕組みを採用しているので、技術的にもとっても面白いことしてますから、ぜひ見に行ってください。
Yeah, like in the technological view, the item created by user is shipped by trains, so that's also like interesting to see, I would say.
Next one is another one that's for the Weavers team. K-Star Blaze is asking, elaborating on that, in general, what things do you think haven't reached the English-speaking community from the Japan community that should?
ああ、難しい質問。なんだろ
ユニポケットとか
う。
そういう話ではない。
でも、ユニポケット知ってほしいね。
そう。スプリッテニングで多分ね、もうちょっと軽くなるからより使いやすくなると
確かに
思う。
うん。まあ、ユニポケットっていうのを作っているんです。アイテムが共有できるプラットフォームです。 自分が作ったアイテムを投稿して、誰でもそこからダウンロードできるようになるっていうアイテム、レゾナイト内のアイテムとしてプラットフォームを作ってます。で、結構ね、最近は登録してくれてる方増えてるんですけど、まだ、少ないなって感じます。めちゃくちゃいい、英語圏の人が作ったアイテムとか、まだユニポケットに入ってないものとかあったりするんで、もしよかったら入れてほしいな。
The biggest thing I think is Unipocket, which is publishing tools for the tools and items that you created. It's like a world tab, but just intended to the tools and items. And like we've been seeing a lot of like English speaking communities like our user are publishing the tools to Unipocket, but I know like there's still a lot of like tools and items that you created not on Unipocket, so we would recommend to use Unipocket.
スポーンしてみてもいいかな。
Yeah, I can show you like a little quick.
It's very useful.
This is what the Unipocket looks like.
Yes. そう、気になるアイテムでは、例えば、This is Christmas cake. If you want to spawn it, just
I've released
press
an
it.
item on there. If you find it, it's good.
Yeah. And これって英語だと英語で捨てに見
英語で
えてるのかな。
もちろん。
あ、今見
自
えてる。
動的に切り替わります。
素晴らしい。Like this. Very easily spawn it.
Okay.
Oh, yes. This one's Christmas, but this is cool. And you can publish your item via these pages.
うん。
And even you can bookmark your favorite items like this. こんな感じです。
So next one's from Varax120 is asking, would upscaling technology such as DLSS of FSR be possible in Resonite with splitting new rendering engine? The splitting doesn't actually give a new rendering engine. The rendering engine stays the same. It just kind of splits them into two processes. So unfortunately not. That would be like with the replacement of the rendering engine.
This update makes it easier to update to a newer rendering engine, pretty much.
Yes, but it needs to be done. But it's not like, it is not part of it. It's just sort of like a step, like a prerequisite. With that, we are pretty much like out of time. So thank you everyone, for joining us. If you wanna learn more about Resonite, if you wanna ask more questions, we run, the office hours. There's like primes on Tuesdays. The art team you do like on Wednesdays. There's also the moderation and mine are on Sundays. You can find the dates on the Discord in the events tab. So if you want to ask more questions, go there. If you're from the Japanese community as well, definitely join like the Weavers teams like streams as well. They deserve like more love. So thank you very much, Aegis, Ru, Bob, for joining us, and thank you very much, Weavers team. Thank you, Orange, Rebus, and Angeli for joining us here as well and doing the awesome work you do. It's been a pleasure having you here. Thank you very much, and we'll see you with the next one. Bye.
Have a fun weekend.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.